The Moon Landing, 1969. The story. In 1969, the world was in the middle of a powerful and silent battle known as the Cold War, where two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, were competing for global dominance, not just on Earth, but beyond it. Space had become the new battlefield. After the Soviet Union successfully sent the first human into space, the United States knew it had to respond with something even greater. That response came in the form of a bold and almost unbelievable mission, to land a man on the moon and bring him safely back to Earth. This mission would later be known as Apollo 11. On July 16, 1969, a massive rocket called Saturn V stood ready for launch. Inside it were three astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. As the countdown reached zero, the engines ignited with explosive force, shaking the ground beneath and sending the rocket soaring into the sky. In that moment, humanity officially began its journey to the moon. The trip was long and dangerous. For 4 days, the astronauts traveled through the emptiness of space, covering a distance of over 384,000 kilometers. Inside the spacecraft, every movement, every calculation, and every system had to function perfectly. There was no room for error. One small mistake could have ended the mission, and their lives. As they approached the moon, the excitement grew, but so did the tension, because the most difficult part was still ahead: landing. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin entered a smaller spacecraft called the Lunar Module, known as Eagle, while Michael Collins remained in orbit around the moon. As Eagle began its descent, everything seemed to be going according to plan, until suddenly, warning alarms started flashing. The onboard computer was overloaded, and the system was struggling to keep up. Back on Earth, Mission Control had to make a critical decision in seconds. Should they abort the mission or continue the landing? They chose to continue. As the module dropped closer to the moon's surface, another problem appeared. The landing area was filled with rocks and craters, making it extremely dangerous. If they landed there, the module could tip over or crash. With time running out and fuel dropping fast, down to less than 30 seconds, Neil Armstrong took manual control of the spacecraft. Calm under pressure, he carefully guided Eagle across the surface, searching for a safer spot. Every second mattered. Every movement could determine life or death. Then, finally, the moment came. The spacecraft touched down safely on the moon. Armstrong's voice came through the radio with words that would go down in history: "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed." At that moment, millions of people around the world erupted in celebration. Humanity had done what once seemed impossible. A few hours later, Neil Armstrong opened the hatch and slowly climbed down the ladder. As he stepped onto the moon's surface, he delivered one of the most famous lines ever spoken: "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Soon after, Buzz Aldrin joined him, and together they became the first humans to walk on another world. They spent about 2 hours exploring the surface, collecting samples, taking photographs, and planting the American flag. The ground they walked on had never been touched by human life before, and their footprints remain there even today. While all of this was happening, Michael Collins was alone in orbit above them, circling the moon in complete isolation. He had no direct contact with his crewmates while they were on the far side, making him one of the most isolated humans in history. Yet his role was just as important, because without him, there would be no way for Armstrong and Aldrin to return home. After completing their mission on the surface, Armstrong and Aldrin returned to the lunar module and launched back into space, rejoining Collins in orbit. Together, the three astronauts began their journey back to Earth. After traveling once again through the vast darkness of space, they finally re-entered Earth's atmosphere and landed safely in the Pacific Ocean on July 24, 1969. The moon landing was more than just a scientific achievement. It was a moment that united the world, showing what humanity is capable of when determination, courage, and innovation come together. It proved that even the most impossible dreams can become reality. More than 50 years later, the story of Apollo 11 still stands as one of the greatest achievements in human history. A reminder that the sky is not the limit, but only the beginning.